Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got some breaking news. After waiting and waiting and waiting for the country of Mali to finally pick their leader, they have finally picked their leader. NSE is ready to make a projection that Peter Matraka will return to power as the next president of Malawi. Now, Peter Mataraka, I don't know how you say his name, but he was the former president of Malawi until he was defeated in the 2020 election by Lazarus Chakwara by a pretty big landslide. But as you can clearly see here, a pretty big landslide here. You can see by the colors. By these municipalities, 80 got this region's 80%, 90% actually. Never mind. This is 80%, 70%, and over here is like 60%. We don't have a map coming out, and nor do we have a projection for Wikipedia, but we have several sources like New York Times coming out saying that Peter Mathraka will become the next president of Malawi. A lot of people will say, "Oh well, what's your stance on your channel on this said race? Well, who is the winner?" Well, we'll see. Studying both the candidates, I'll tell you, we got the Malawi Congress Party. It's more center right, and when it comes to factions, it is mostly right wing. Peter Mathraka's party, the Democratic Progressive Party, is more Big Tent, so you could say this is more of a liberal party. So I don't really know. I probably would say I would support the current president. Unfortunately, he will not be returning to power. And as a result, I will say that we can officially add, let's go ahead and go to our map here. This is U.S. counties. Let's see. Yes, perfect. We forgot to put down Norway. Go ahead and make Norway down. But yes, we can go ahead and add Malawi, as we don't have an exact margin, but I will assume it's going to be solid. But this is what your map is looking like right now, currently. Left wing 13. The left is winning. It's quote. Can't necessarily say that I have some candidates, left-wing presidencies that I would necessarily back, but there has been an emergence in some races when it comes to the right. But yes, the left 13, the center is going to 5. Although I do count the Big Tent parties as center parties, since they refuse to take a left or right stance. So this is pretty much our map right now as of late September of 2025. We still have a lot to go. 18 races. That is ridiculous. In the span of I don't know how many. I think October, we're going to be, we have October, November, December, and we're going to be washed up with the rest of these races. But I would say, hey, some of these 18 races, maybe half of them, not even half, maybe a quarter of them will be postponed to 2026. They can't necessarily find dates. We can add Guinea to the list here. So we can add Guinea right here to our list. As we reviewed in the last video, that Guinea has confirmed in a ballot measure that they will have a presidential election to confirm the new their dictator junta leader as the next president. So that is the last video we've talked about. But look, judging at the course of this, you have right now, when it comes to absolute majority on this list, I'm not so sure. You might want to eliminate the center and go by presidential candidates. We could do that later on, but right now the left wing is winning by 13, the right by 8. But this is a win for the center as of right now. unless, there has been accusations. This election has been wild so far with accusations of election fraud, but from both sides. And there has been arrests of people fiddling with the election results. Thus said, the legitimacy of the election is itself being questioned. Is this election trustworthy? Is it not? There's a lot of questions being arisen from this. So, obviously, this is what you're seeing right now. So, I do want to... There's no real map what we're seeing. So, what would the results be like? So, ideally, I do believe if the former president is winning, I think if the former president, Mataraka, you see, he managed to win in a very close and tight race in 2019, just a year before. Although the election results are actually annulled, since they were just so close with the election results here. 2014, yeah, you'll see, looking at his results, he really did very good in this area, and we don't really know the provinces of Malawi by heart. But you can see that even with one province, and I do think it's, like you see, Joyce Banda from the PP, she mainly did good in the northern province. She won the northern province entirely. Lazarus Chakwara, he won central Malawi, and the south being carried by the soon-to-be president. And yeah, Joyce Banda was the former president of Malawi itself. So she was defeated. And you'll notice Malawi is a center-right country, meaning that I don't think we've ever had a left-wing president in... I don't think we've ever had a president that has been left-wing, if I am mistaken. So you could interpret Peter Mataraka's win as a conservative victory if you want to eliminate the center piece out of it. Presidents of Malawi. So we could pull this up. But yeah, you can clearly see in the judging with the results. This is 2020, 2019, 2014. Yeah, and Joyce Banda was just appointed. Same deal. This was more center. But yeah, I don't think we've ever got a left-wing president. Like, never before in Malawi. And Malawi has been a campaigner against Mozambique, which was formerly a communist country at itself. So we do look at specifically, there's nothing really I have to say. We haven't really got the final results of the Malawian election. I can say that it looks like Peter Mataraka will return to power as of what we're seeing from sources like New York Times. They've said that, yeah, Peter Mataraka, who is over 80 years old, by the way, 85 years old, and he's returning to power as the next president. He is said to, allegedly, as AP has even pointed out that, yeah, the former Malawi president has a strong lead in the partial election results, which is a huge indicator that he is probably going to win. He's leading with 66% of votes, which is also big. It looks like the president of Malawi's momentum is slowing down. I think Malawians want change, and I think they're going to get that change. So, yeah, this is quite an interesting election. What do you guys think in regards to this Malawi election? And before we end, we can't actually confirm polls right now. Yeah, I mean, Matraka was leading in the polls quite a bit by 17 points in two major polling outlets. So, yeah, I think, and judging by how much it has swung from Chakwera, who won by like 19.42%, it swung all the way to the Mathraka by like, I don't know how much, but like 20, not even 20 points, but over 20 points for sure. But this was a big win for the former president, as I'm pretty sure he's going to come up victorious. So what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.